Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I'm coming to you live from Skyline Field for some soccer action that is already underway. The Brookline High Warriors hosting the Milton High Wildcats for a stormy senior day game as that ball is kicked out of bounds. It is a lovely day for soccer out here at Skyline, as we are playing through the rain and the wind. Rain or shine, as they say, just like the mail carriers. And we got a leading pass going for Ansley Washburn down the near side. Attempted centering kick deflected out of bounds. It'll remain Brookline ball as the wind whips its way through Skyline. Strong gusts as Brookline carries the ball. Attempted centering pass intercepted by Milton. And then they attempt a couple clearing deflections all the way back to midfield. Kicked back in by Sydney Freeze, now taken by Hope Leshley. Leshley now sends a leading pass, and that's going to be an offsides call. Was trying to set it ahead for number 20, Liv Ernst. Both Leshley and Ernst and Washburn, who I mentioned earlier, all seniors being honored today for Senior Day. Of course, the ceremony's set to take place after this game back at the school itself at Brookline High. As you can see, the weather is not exactly suitable for a normal Senior Day celebration here at Skyline. Wildcats kick this one. It goes off the head. Now kicked back. Deflects off of Leshley, now taken by Zoe Fagnan, another senior. Passed ahead for Liv Ernst. Ernst passes for Kendall Freeze, another senior. Now pass trying to lead Washburn. Washburn is trying to win the race to the ball, takes a shot and misses wide. Brookline putting all their seniors up front today. They want to give them a senior day to remember and thus want to give them a good chance to put one in the back of the net. I don't blame them. Now this will be a goal kick for the Wildcats. As again, they're trying to clear it out. Again, Brookline being aggressive with their forward pressure as Liv Ernst forces the deflection out of bounds. It'll remain Milton ball. Throw in now is deflected out of bounds by Mila Seifert, another senior who we hadn't had a chance to mention yet. Now being thrown in, a bit of a deflection, being battled for, still scrummed for. Wind still whipping as Milton slowly moves their way upfield. Kick towards the middle, deflected away, and stolen by Leshley. Hope Leshley dribbling with it, lost control of it, taken back by Milton, but again, scrumming for it, and Washburn kicks it over to number 8, Sari Frankel. Frankel kicking into the wind. Kendall Freeze trying to chase after it, but the back cuts it off, loses her balance. Freeze still trying to pursue, but it's kicked away, intercepted by Fagnan. Fagnan dribbling, weaving her way through. Look at the fancy feet as she taps a leading pass for Liv Ernst. Can she chase it down? She gets it, keeps it in bounds. Retreating pass goes back to, I believe, Frankel. Frankel dribbling towards the middle, launches a shot, and it's caught out of the air by the keeper. My apologies that this is a little more frantic than we're used to. Weather's not great, as again the Wildcats get it over to Brookline's end of the field. Seifert gets it, passes it ahead. Another pass ahead for Frankel. Frankel taking it along the far sideline. Centering kick, bounces, being kind of scrummed for. It's Washburn who comes away with it, but has it deflected away, taken by Milton. Kicked across midfield. They're trying to push it ahead. Now taken by the center back, Cecilia Wager. Kicked back to the goalie, Juliana Anastopoulos, another one of the seniors being honored today as she kicks it into open space. It deflects into the air and is tracked down by Milton's number 14, passed ahead. Now kicked into open space, being chased down by Sydney Freeze, one of the few non-seniors on the pitch right now. Freeze, a freshman. Sari Frankel, who I mentioned earlier, a sophomore. And Anastopoulos kicks this one into the air. It is taken by Frankel and tapped over to Leshley. Leshley kicks a high leading pass. Washburn's got a step on him. Ansley Washburn on a breakaway. Ansley Washburn shoots, saved. A nice save by the Milton keeper. Not sure if Washburn just waited too long on that shot or if just couldn't get enough curve on it. A huge chance that she'd want back, but Brookline showing plenty of chances to score early. Leshley dribbling with it, weaving her way around. Now another leading pass. I don't hear a whistle for offsides as the goalie comes in and kicks it away. Now being deflected back by Seifert, but out of bounds. Now Milton trying to get it across midfield. They do. A pass over to 13, who deflects it into space, finds a teammate who cannot quite keep it in bounds. That'll put the ball back to Brookline. A quick shout out to the Brookline High parents who have provided me with a tent here at Skyline that keeps most of the rain out, and then I'm using an umbrella to keep the rest of it off of my equipment. Very expensive equipment. I don't want it to break in the rain. Brookline working with it, passed over to number 17, Nilufar Dadgar, another senior being honored in a rare chance to see the field. Passed ahead to Zoe Fagnan. Fagnan pops one up, leading for Ernst. Ernst tracks it down, working her way past a defender down the far side. Now passes it back to Frankel. Frankel cannot hold on to it against the pressure, and it's kicked away. Now kicked across midfield. Tracked down, number 19 swings a pass over to the far side but misses. That is Samantha McGillivray who sent that one off. Throw in here, aimed at Hope Leshley, but she can't keep track of it. Too many other players. Tapped away, leading pass for number 12, gets away from her and out of bounds. That was a pass from number 13, Emily Rowley, intended for number 12, Victoria Lundeen. Heavy winds, I'm sure you can hear, as they're scrumming for the ball. And now it's popped into the air and lost out of bounds. Throw in now is tapped back, passed ahead. Now passed back to the middle to Leshley. Leshley tries to send one through, but nobody there, kicked away. Now it's chased down by Seifert, kicked back to Freeze, back to Anastopoulos, booted into the air to Leshley. Leshley swings it over to Dadgar, popped into the air. Washburn can't control it, and it's booted away by number 18. Scrum for the ball, and it's taken for a second by Seifert, knocked away but recovered by Leshley. Leshley dribbling in space, kicks one ahead, taken by Frankel. Frankel sends one ahead, deflected but goes right to Liv Ernst. Ernst dribbling with it, now tries a leading pass, but it's intercepted and kicked away. Now a collision for the ball, and it's downed by Fagnan. Fagnan now trying to send a leading pass. Washburn off to the races once again. Ansley Washburn, could this be another breakaway? She's going to have to center it. Centering kick, away from the goalie. Nobody there. Big chance for Kendall Freeze, but just not in the right position. The defender boxing her out well. Throw in now for the Wildcats. Immediately stolen away, recovered by Frankel, tapped back to Seifert. Seifert collides with a defender, loses the ball out of bounds, stays with Brookline. Throw into Frankel, tapped over to Leshley. Leshley dribbling in space, leading pass, and they are going to call offsides on that anyway, but it's scooped up by the goalie anyway. Goalie punts it off ahead. Deflected even further ahead for number 19. Now passed for Lundin, number 12. Lundin chasing it down, trying to gain the edge, but cannot maintain control of it. Throw in here. Collected by, I think, Ernst and passed back to Leshley. Leshley dribbling around, fights her way through a defender. Pass ahead for Frankel. Frankel trying to maintain control around multiple defenders. Somehow she does. And now a pass over to Seifert. Seifert dribbling with it. Leading pass. Off ahead. Big chance. Kendall Freeze passes ahead for Washburn. Offsides call. Sorry for the slightly frantic calling there. I was trying to battle the wind at the same time I was calling this game. Kick off the head of Fagnan, taken by Washburn. Passes back to Fagnan. Fagnan dribbling, pass over to Frankel. Frankel dribbles. Big gust of wind, pass back to Leshley. Leshley tries to kick ahead, deflected away, taken by Milton. Fought back by Seifert. Seifert sends it back to Anastopoulos, who boots it into the air and out of bounds. Throw in for Milton. Goes past a couple people, and it's recovered by Brookline. I think Sydney Freeze took that one, passed it ahead for Seifert, but it got away from her. Now a long throw in. Sydney Freeze just boxing him out and letting it go out of bounds. Sorry about that. Brookline now working with it. Pass goes ahead, deflected, recovered by Fagnan. Fagnan passes, tapped ahead by Leshley. And nothing doing there. The goalie comes out, kicks it away, deflected. Tracked down by Frankel. Frankel dribbling back, now sending a pass over to the far side, looking. She was looking for Ernst, but nothing doing there. Quick throw in for the Wildcats. Lost out of bounds, Brookline ball. Another throw in for Milton. And it looks like Freeze is again just going to box out and let the ball naturally go back to Brookline. Throw into Fagnan, battling for the ball, and it's lost out of bounds. It'll go back to Milton. Throw in for the Wildcats, downed but then kicked away by Brookline. Number 14 dribbling with it, runs over Sari Frankel. No whistle, but it's taken by Brookline anyway. It might be a delayed penalty. Hope Leshley dribbling with plenty of space to work. Now sending a leading pass. Ansley Washburn trying to chase after it again, but can't get there fast enough. Booted away by the keeper. Collision at midfield. Kicked back. Number 17 pops it in the air. It's being chased down and ultimately booted by Anastopoulos. Number 7 for Milton, that's Grace Kelly, who couldn't quite control it, taken away by Liv Ernst. Ernst passes back to Fagnan. Fagnan sends one up the line. kicked away by Milton, but intercepted by Ernst. Tapped ahead, looking for Frankel. Frankel battling for it with number 14, lost out of bounds. Thrown in, deflected, now popped into the air by Frankel. Off a head, off another head, and out of bounds. As out of bounds, it goes off another head. Throw in, a deflection, chased down by Fagnan. Fagnan taps it back to Wager. Wager decides to boot one up the middle, deflected back, and taken by the Wildcats. Kicked ahead, deflects off the head of Wager. Dadgar whiffs on that one, but it's taken by Anastopoulos. Anastopoulos boots this one into the air. Favorable bounce off the foot of Freeze. It's out in front of everybody. Ansley Washburn chasing it down. Could this be the chance? Washburn kicks wide. Some big chances for the Brookline seniors early. Ansley Washburn's had a few nice chances. That one, not as much of a gimme as the earlier breakaway she had. As you could tell, that one, it was bouncing higher than she probably wanted it to. It's hard to get a clean kick off of that elevation. You know, made the best she could out of that situation. And in the meantime, we got a goal kick for Milton. This one comes in low, and it's taken by Hope Leshley. Leshley dribbling, weaving her way through, still dribbling. Now a pass for Washburn, just off the mark. Can Washburn recover? She keeps it not in bounds. I think they called offsides. Now a quick free kick. Milton trying to work the clear. Pass over to 13, now to the middle. Deflected away by Fagnan. Kicked by Freeze, and that's going to go out of bounds. We got a sub coming in for Milton High. As we got a throw-in upcoming for the Wildcats. Throw-in bounces down the line, being chased down by Wager. Now kicked away by Anastopoulos. Deflected off ahead, chased down by Fagnan. Zoe Fagnan dribbling around the far side. Winding up, leading pass. Skipping away, the goalie's going to chase after it and boot it out of bounds. Throw in down the line, deflected, lost control of it. It's booted into the air and out of bounds by Milton. Throw in is kicked away by Milton across midfield. It's being chased after by Sydney Freeze as the wind keeps whipping through. Now chased down by Wager, kicked across. It's being chased down by Dadgar. Nilufar Dadgar kicks this one upfield. Keeps bouncing. Number 2 chasing after it. Ansley Washburn on her tail. She has to kick it out of bounds, and it's going to stay Brookline ball. Quick throw in to Leshley. Leshley dribbles back, passes it to Fagnan. Fagnan now dribbling around midfield. Pass for Frankel. Frankel has a defender on her back but escapes. Now a leading pass for Hope Leshley. Leshley working along the near side, trying to maintain control of it, but the defender cuts her off and kicks it away and manages to prevent the corner kick. The senior day storm rages on here at Skyline. Still 0-0 the score between the Brookline High Warriors and the Milton High Wildcats. Throw-in is immediately deflected out of bounds. It'll be another throw-in. Another throw-in from Dadgar, deflected out of bounds, and that's going to be a corner. Sorry about that. I'm keeping an eye on the tent they've got around me. They're putting as much weight on it as they can. try and keep this thing steady as Brookline lines up for a corner kick. It's tapped for Frankel. Frankel dribbling. Now tap over to Fagnan. Zoe Fagnan dribbling towards the middle, runs into a defender, deflected away, goes back to Dadgar. Dadgar kicks it towards the middle, deflected ahead. Hope Leshley, kicked by Kendall Freeze. I think they called offsides anyway. Goal kick taken by the Wildcats, and that's just going to go out of bounds. Throw in now. Deflected back, kicked into the air. Freeze was trying to chase it down but couldn't reach it. Now they attempt the clear, but it's intercepted by Fagnan. Fagnan dribbling through. Leading pass. It's now a race for it, but that's going to be another offsides call. Those offsides have been plaguing Brookline all game so far. Almost feels like they're a little over-eager for the net here. I mean, those leading passes have in some cases been successful for them. But usually when they're leading, they're usually their usual starting forwards. As this kick goes off the head of, I believe, Fagnan. Now booted into the air by Ernst. Leading kick. Washburn trying to win the race here. Washburn might have a half a step. Loses track of the ball, and it's taken away by Milton. Kicked away. Taken by Wager. Tapped ahead to Leshley. Leshley weaving her way through. Has it kicked away by the Wildcats. Now being chased down along the far side and lost out of bounds. Throw in for Brookline. Seifert throws it in. Skips ahead and out of bounds. Back to Milton now. Some more subs coming in for the Wildcats. And now a throw in for Milton. Down for a second now, kicked ahead, cut off by Brookline, recovered by Ernst, passed back and now booted upfield but deflected away. A scrum for the ball is won by Milton. They send it down the line and out of bounds. This should be a throw-in for Brookline. Now Brookline trying to work with it along the far side. This is Seifert trying to gain the edge. Too many defenders there, and Milton kicks it away. Immediately cut off by, I believe, Sydney Freeze. Kicked over to Dadgar. Dadgar kicks it ahead. Lost. Recovered by Frankel. Frankel now trying to dribble her way through. Frankel's taking off. Sari Frankel out in front of everybody. Can she make it all the way? Kick is saved. Frankel was looking for a foul call there, but didn't get it. Punted away by the keeper. Bounces all the way back to Fagnan. Fagnan fakes out her defender and dribbles into space. Still dribbling. Fagnan still dribbling. Fagnan still going. Zoe Fagnan fighting off the defenders. Fires a shot, misses high and wide. So many close but no cigar chances for Brookline, as I think they say a defender deflected that kick from Zoe Fagnan out of bounds, and so this will be a corner kick for the Warriors. Still 0-0 here in the first half, as it looks like Fagnan lining up next to Frankel for the corner kick. Last time they set it up for a bit of a intended give and go that didn't quite get through the defense. Fagnan with the signal. This time she's just going to launch it into the box. Weird deflection kicked away by Milton and taken by Fagnan. Now tapped over to Frankel. Frankel dribbling her way through. Sari Frankel trying to break in. Centering kick off the foot of Leshley and scooped up by the goalie. The wind whipping its way through here at Skyline. Now Cecilia Wager with the ball. kicks it ahead, trying to lead. This might be an offsides call, and so Brookline has to back off and just let the goalie take that one. Kick goes out of bounds. And all of these high kicks, you have to wonder how much the wind is affecting it. It is a stormy day here at Skyline. As we got a scrum for the ball, kicked ahead, taken by Leshley. Leshley trying to kick ahead, taken by Freeze. Freeze trying to tap it ahead for Ernst. Liv Ernst is going to take that one. Ernst dribbling, trying to get around the defender, gain the edge, scrumming with her defender, gets control of the ball, still dribbling, runs into another defender, couldn't fight her way through that one, and it's kicked out of bounds by Milton. Throw in. Kicked back, taken for a second. Another deflection. It rolls back to Fagnan. Fagnan couldn't keep control of it. Now Milton takes it away, but Fagnan intercepts it immediately. Now Fagnan's kick is deflected, and it goes back to Wager. Wager dribbling, kicks it ahead. Frankel couldn't keep control of it, and they're going to whistle Frankel for the penalty on that one. Frankel, who wanted the penalty call on an earlier breakaway, has to be frustrated with that one, as we've got I think a timeout call. Is that a timeout or the half? What? Timeout, okay. Thought so. So indeed, that is a timeout. It is 0-0 here in the first half. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, coming to you live from Skyline Field on a lovely day for soccer, as these two teams battle through the elements, trying to be the first on the board. We are still scoreless. Brookline has had a few nice chances, but nothing has found the back of the net so far. As we wait for this timeout to play out, let's read off the names of the seniors being honored for Brookline today, the class of 2022. First off, we have one of the coaches, number 4, Zoe Fagnan. Next, number 5, Ansley Washburn. Another co-captain, number 7, Mila Seifert. Next up, number 14, Kellen McNamara. After that, number 16, Kendall Freeze. After that, number 17, Nilufar Dadgar. And then number 20, Liv Ernst. And then rounding it out, the last co-captain, who is number 23 on the roster but wears number 0 when playing in the net, the goalie, Juliana Anastopoulos. So that is your senior class of 2022. They'll be graduating from Brookline High this spring, and they will be sorely missed. You know, I've talked a lot about the way that the underclassmen have stepped into big roles here this season. You know, players like Amra Ukamadu, Anna Leshley, Vilena Chernichev, and Sydney Freeze. But the upperclassmen have played a vital role as well, whether it be on the back line or in the middle. You know, stuff that's not going to show up on any stat sheets, but stuff that is vital to them maintaining possession and moving things ahead to set up for some of their high-scoring underclassmen. As we now got a free kick for Milton, goes off the foot of Leshley. Ernst couldn't quite keep track of it, but now she's scrumming for it, trying to take it back. But Milton gets it away. Kick ahead taken by Sydney Freeze. Kicked over to the far end to Mila Seifert. Seifert dribbling along the far side, still working it, and lost it out of bounds. Throw in there. It's deflected. Battled for one by Seifert. Kicked ahead to Frankel. Kicked ahead to Ernst. Tapped back to Frankel. Sari Frankel dribbling towards the middle now. Running into traffic. Passes it back to Sydney Freeze. Freeze kicks it across to Dadgar. Dadgar passes ahead to Fagnan. Fagnan keeps control of it. Still dribbling. Weaving her way around. Pass to the middle to Frankel. Frankel dribbling back. Passing it back to Fagnan. Fagnan now dribbling ahead, turns around, kicks to the near side to Dadgar. Dadgar pass ahead to Frankel. Frankel loses control but fights to get it back. Frankel passes back to Dadgar, who loses control of it out of bounds. So the only non-seniors on the field right now for the Warriors are number 8, Sari Frankel, number 15, Cecilia Wager, and number 19, Sydney Freeze. As this throw-in is intercepted by Leshley and kicked back to Wager, kicked back to Anastopoulos. Anastopoulos boots it away despite the pressure. Deflected by Frankel, she gets it down, pops one into the air, down to the far side to Seifert. Seifert dribbling with it down the far side, pass ahead for Ernst. Ernst, now a leading pass, is going to be too far. The goalie's going to kick that one away easily. But the kick is intercepted by Frankel. Frankel taps for Leshley. Leshley dribbling around, weaving her way through. Now turns around, leading kick is a little too far again, scooped up by the keeper. It could be really hard to set up those leading kicks. Is this one deflected by Washburn, and she's trying to get it past the goalie. She does! Wide open net, deflected by the defender. That's going to be a corner kick all day. I mean, really, just by the rule of averages, one of these kicks from Washburn has to go in, right? I mean, she's gotten some great looks so far today. As now Zoe Fagnan lining up for this corner kick with Sari Frankel alongside her. Signal pops it high in the air, off the head of a defender, bounces back. Seifert taps it back. Big wind. Fagnan dribbling towards the middle. A pass setting up Washburn. Washburn pops it into the air, misses wide. Credit to the folks holding this tent for me. They the real MVP today. As we get set up for a goal kick for the Wildcats. This kick goes right to Washburn, but she can't cleanly intercept it, so it's kicked away. Passed ahead, trying to lead, but Wager is just going to cut it off and let it go out of bounds. Throw in for Brookline will be taken by Dadgar. Thrown in down the near side, down by Fagnan. Fagnan passes to Leshley. Leshley dribbling, still keeping that ball control. Swings it over to Seifert. Seifert downs it. Kicks back to Freeze, swung over to Dadgar. Dadgar dribbling, kicks one, leading. This might not be offsides. Dangerous chance. It's a foot race. Washburn's got it. Extra pass, intercepted. Booted away, and this will roll out of bounds. Throw in by Dadgar, deflected away, and booted out by Milton. Cut off by Sydney Freeze, but then kicked away by Milton. Now they're working it down the far side, being chased by Liv Ernst. They keep control and pass it into open space, but booted away by Cecilia Wager. And now Kendall Freeze trying to outpace the goalie. Can't do it. The kick is deflected and taken by Leshley, passed over to Fagnan. Fagnan, some pressure from behind and in front, and Milton takes it away. But Dadgar deflects that one away, recovered by Milton, passed ahead, down the near side, and out of bounds, Brookline ball. Throw in from Dadgar, deflected down by Leshley. Leshley trying to dribble around towards the middle. Pass over to Fagnan. Fagnan to the far side to Seifert. Seifert dribbling along the far sideline. Pass down the line, off the mark and out of bounds. You can hear the gusting winds whipping through. Skyline Field, a pretty windy field ordinarily as it's on top of a hill, but in the middle of a rainstorm, that's just gusty. as it goes off ahead and out of bounds. Still scoreless here in the first half between Brookline and Milton in Brookline's senior day game as another one gets deflected out of bounds. Throw in off a foot and again out of bounds. We're just working our way upfield off these out of bounds deflections. Another throw in, deflected, and Frankel trying to fight for the ball. She's got it, pass back to Seifert, sent ahead, skips past, booted away by Milton now. Now deflected away by Leshley, taken by Dadgar. Dadgar dribbling with it, pass ahead to Frankel. Frankel tries to tap it, but nobody there, booted away by 18. Now kicked by Sydney Freeze. Fagnan downs it, but can't keep control of it, stolen away. Goes to number 8, who tries to pass it back. It gets back to 23, who boots it ahead, but scooped up easily by Anastopoulos. Anastopoulos boots this one in the air, bounces, kicked away by Milton, and now the Wildcats take over. Number 18 kicks it, downed by Dadgar, but taken by 13. Kick deflected, but recovers and passes to the middle to 17. Can't keep control of it. It's taken away by Fagnan. Pass to Frankel. Now down to the far side to Seifert. Seifert pulls back, turns around, tries to pass for Frankel. Frankel could not keep it in bounds. This will be a throw-in for Milton High. Throw in here. Kicked, downed, and taken by, I believe, Liv Ernst. Ernst trying to pass ahead for Kendall Freeze, but off the mark and booted away by the Wildcats. Skips all the way down to number 8, but Fagnan takes it away and kicks it back to Sydney Freeze. Freeze dribbling, passes out to the far side to Seifert. Seifert back to Freeze. Over to Wager now. Wager into open space for Leshley. Leshley dribbling. She's got some space to work. Now cuts back, leading pass, and that's going to be offsides again. Savvy moves by the Milton High defenders. Whenever they see Brookline winding up for that leading pass, their defenders immediately jump up and turn it into an offsides. Now number 13, dribbling around. Got some space, leading pass, deflected away immediately by Wager, and out of bounds. It'll stay with Milton. Throw in against the wind, and now a bit of a scrum for the ball along the far side. Can't really see it, but it looks like Milton Academy heading for the corner. They lose it out of bounds, and I think that's going to be a corner kick for the Wildcats. Looks to be, as number 13 lines up to launch this corner kick towards the box. This one heading towards the box, off ahead and well out of the box as that catches the wind. Kendall Freeze kind of whiffs on the attempted kick, and it's taken away by the Wildcats. Kick down the far side, out of bounds. Now it's going to be thrown in by Seifert into Freeze. Tapped to Seifert, tapped ahead to Leshley. Leshley dribbling. Now pass back to, I believe, Seifert. Pass ahead to Frankel, now ahead to Liv Ernst. Ernst dribbling with it. Sends a pass for Frankel, but kicked away by the Wildcats. Now an attempted leading pass, but Seifert gonna get there first and just let it go out of bounds. This will be, I believe, a goal kick for Brookline as Anastopoulos gets ready to boot this one. She just decides to lightly pass it to Sydney Freeze, who kicks it ahead to Frankel. Frankel fighting off some pressure, too much pressure, and it's taken away by the Wildcats. They kick it into space, and it just goes back to Anastopoulos, who scoops it up. Thrown in. Kicked away. Now battled back by Wager. Leshley takes it. Leshley dribbling, pass to the middle for Wager. Wager swings it over to Seifert. Seifert dribbling, leading pass, off the mark and out of bounds. Throw in now for the Wildcats, deflects, out of bounds, and now it'll be Brookline ball. Throw in. Downed by Frankel, kicked back to Seifert, popped up into the air. Deflected by Milton. Zoe Fagnan takes control for a second but can't hold on. Kicked away by 13. Taken by Sydney Freeze. Passed ahead to Ernst. Back to Seifert. Seifert ahead to Frankel. Frankel dribbling. Still dribbling. Pass leading for Fagnan. Fagnan seems to have timed it correctly. Zoe Fagnan with a chance. Going up the near side. Tries double back. Still dribbling towards the middle. Chance. Pass deflected away by the Wildcats. And again, it doesn't quite work out. Fagnan trying to battle for the ball. Zoe Fagnan trying to take it away. Zoe Fagnan fighting for it. Penalty. No penalty call. How do you not call a penalty there as Zoe Fagnan gets run over on the chase for the loose ball? That would have been a penalty kick for Brookline, but nothing there as the refs swallow their whistles. Big gust coming through in Skyline as Brookline now working on another attempt to get the ball upfield. It's deflected back. And it looks like it's going to be scooped up by Anastopoulos. Sent to Seifert. Seifert down the far side, kicked ahead to Frankel. Frankel dribbling, pass back to Seifert. Bit of a collision, and now a scrum for the ball is going to be won by Milton. Too many white shirts in there. Kicked away down the far side, and I believe that one's going to go out of bounds. Still scoreless here in the first half at Skyline Field for Brookline's senior day game against Milton. And what a day Mother Nature decided to drop this storm on us. And there's the whistle for halftime. Halfway through, your score, Brookline 0, Milton 0. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, live from Skyline Field in Brookline, Massachusetts. Remember, if you're enjoying the broadcast, to hit that like button. Be sure the channel to stay up to date on all upcoming broadcasts. Find out more information about me and how you can commission my services at my website, jessesports.com. Link in the description, as are links to my social media accounts and my email address. Be sure to check those out. But at the half, 0-0. I'll take a break, but I'll be back. Stay tuned. That would be so nice, actually. also depends on the direction of the wind because it always just blows it right underneath. Man, you know what this place needs? A press box.
That would be nice, right?
Oh man, if they could have played this game at Parsons or something.
Yeah. I love when they do that.
Yeah. Golly. Yeah, no, because like when the game was happening in Natick, like they play at their football field, so I could just be up in their press box, and I didn't have to like cancel on folks and be like, hey, I can't do it, because that was a downpour there too.
Invest your profits in your own little, like, you know how they have those tents? It's almost like a little room, like it zips up around you, and you just
I have looked at those. The only problem is like when you turn, like how would you even see through it?
Yeah, that's
so
true.
maybe if I got a better camera or something. But we're back in the action, so here we go. Welcome back to the action here at a stormy Skyline Field in Brookline, Massachusetts. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan coming to you live for this Division I high school girls soccer contest between the visiting Milton High Wildcats and the hosting Brookline High Warriors. We are scoreless as we get ready for the start of the second half. Here in this senior day game meant to honor Brookline's class of 2022. That class, of course, consisting of Hope Leshley, Zoe Fagnan, Ansley Washburn, Mila Seifert, Kellen McNamara, Kendall Fries, Nilufar Dadgar, Liv Ernst, and Juliana Anastopoulos. I believe I got them all there. I'm not able to read off of my usual roster cheat sheets as I'm currently covering the wind still whipping through as we get this second half underway. It's kicked back to Anastopoulos, and she scoops it up. Rolled into Cecilia Wager. Wager kicks towards the middle, finds Ansley Washburn. Her kick deflected, but then booted ahead. Now it's a foot race, and it's the keeper that's going to get there first, but that kick deflected into open space, but Milton gets the favorable bounce, and they work on the clear now. Intercepted by Nilufar Dadgar. Pass to the middle to Washburn. Washburn fights off a defender. Passes over to Liv Ernst. Ernst now passes over to Zoe Fagnan. Fagnan working along the near side, dribbling towards the box. Still dribbling and lost control of the ball. It's lost out of bounds. That'll be a goal kick. Now Milton working on the clear. This one booted into the air. Scrumming for it. Seifert. Mila Seifert deflects it away, and it goes back to Hope Leshley. Leshley dribbling. Her kick deflected away. And it's going to go down the far side, being chased by a couple players. Lost out of bounds, and it'll be Brookline ball. Quick throw in. Passed back to Dadgar. Popped into the air. Downed, but then lost out of bounds by Sari Frankel. Frankel, one of the few non-seniors on the field for Brookline today, along with the two center backs, Cecilia Wager and Sydney Fries. This ball downed by Dadgar and passed over to Leshley. Leshley weaving her way through. Now a leading pass attempted for Ernst. She couldn't quite collect it cleanly, so now she's chasing it down. And ball lost out of bounds. They're going to give it to Milton. Milton throws it in. Downed for a second. Now scrumming for it. It's booted away by Milton. Bounces. Couldn't be collected by Fries. Instead collected by Wager. Passed back to Anastopoulos. Anastopoulos boots it. Cross midfield. Bouncing ahead. Fagnan chasing after it. Can she keep it in bounds? Slips and falls and loses it out of bounds. It's a wet field here at Skyline, and while this turf field isn't going to absorb water the same way a grass field would, that doesn't mean the slipperiness isn't there at all. Throw in, battled along the far side, lost out of bounds, Milton ball. Throw in down the line is deflected into open space and ultimately taken by Milton, kicked ahead, stopped by Sydney Freeze. Now a leading pass gets through. It's going to be a foot race to keep that ball in bounds. Can Ernst get there in time? Yes, she can. She's got it along the near side. Passes towards the middle, deflects off the foot of Frankel, booted away, but right back to Seifert. Seifert passes to Leschly. Leschly starts dribbling. Now tries to curve a pass through, but taken away by Milton. But that deflection is being scrubbed for now, won by Milton. Pass to the far side, now kicked back. Skips past Seifert, but taken easily by Freeze. Kicked back to Anastopoulos. Anastopoulos has to rush her kick away. It goes off of Frankel and is going to be lost out of bounds. This will go to the Wildcats. Throw in down the line. Skips past a couple players. Now Freeze cutting it off and taking it back. Kicked over to Wager. Wager boots a line drive. That's deflected, but back to Washburn. Washburn now sending it upfield. There's nobody there. And it looks like Milton is going to get there first as number 7 taps it back to the keeper, who boots it high in the air. Right to Sari Frankel as she collects her deflection, but loses control, and it's chased down by Washburn. It's taken away from her, and now the Wildcats working with it. Ball lost out of bounds. Throw in now. Tapped back. Centering pass to Leschly. Kicked away. Back to, I believe, Wager as her pass, a couple deflections out of bounds, Brookline ball. Scoreless here in the second half. And that kick, I think, went off of either a shoulder or a face, but either way, still scrumming for it. Frankel now trying to dribble with it. Leading pass going for Fagnan. Fagnan trying to get there first. She gets there first, starts dribbling towards the middle. Zoe Fagnan trying to weave her way through. Now launches one towards the box, offsides. Credit where credit's due. The Milton High backs have been very adept at jumping up ahead of the forwards and timing it just right to draw that offsides call. I mean, that takes some skill, it takes some timing, and it takes a good eye for what's happening around you. As this kick is tracked down by Seifert and passed back to Leschly. Leschly, her kick deflected away, taken by Wager, passed ahead for Washburn, now back and intercepted by number 12 as she fights off Leschly, who lost her balance, now trying to get around Seifert. Number 12 is cut off by Seifert, and Freeze takes the ball. Now Sydney Freeze escapes somehow, passes ahead to Leschly. Leschly dribbling, loses the ball. Now a race for the ball, and Freeze cuts off the attacker while Anastopoulos scoops it up. Punted into the air by Anastopoulos. This one's high and bouncing, and it's a foot race to get to the ball first. Can Fagnan keep it in bounds? Yes, she can. Zoe Fagnan, now a centering kick. Favorable deflection. It's a chase for it. Milton gets there first and kicks it out of bounds. Seifert throws it in. Bit of a scrum for the ball. Lost out of bounds. And it'll be Milton ball as a substitution now coming in for the Wildcats. Throw in now, intercepted, taken by Brookline. This is Frankel fighting off several defenders, still trying to get the ball, and a penalty called against Frankel. Now a free kick for the Wildcats. Goes into the air, deflected down, and lost out of bounds. This will remain Milton ball. Another throw in is lost out of bounds. This will be Brookline ball. Throw in here is being scrummed along the far side, lost out of bounds. Now back to Milton. Neither team can seem to keep control along this far side of the field. Is now a throw in for the Wildcats. Is being scrummed for once again. Kicked away by Brookline, and the pass goes to Frankel. Frankel dribbling. Leading pass for Seifert. Seifert. Pass across, whiffed by Washburn and booted away by Milton. It's going to go back to Wager. Wager turns around, sends a pass that misses Dadgar and goes out of bounds. Throw in here. Taken by Milton. They're battling along the far side. Centering kick, dangerous chance, but Anastopoulos runs in and takes that ball. Punted in the air. Skipping along. And Milton's backs are going to get there first. And they're going to try and just let it go out of bounds. Fagnan came in and provided some pressure, and I think she might have forced a deflection out of bounds off of the Milton backs. So this is actually going to be a corner kick for Brookline. Great efforts by Zoe Fagnan as we now see a bunch of subs come in. Looks like this is going to be the number of seniors checking out. Kendall Fries and Liv Ernst, and I think Fagnan as well checking out. It looks like number 18, Anna Leshley, number 10, Amra Ukamadu, and number 22, Eleanor Bergstein checking in for the Warriors. Now the corner kick sails high in the air, off ahead, but not enough power off that header. So I was wrong. Fagnan did not, in fact, check out, as she was the one who launched that corner kick, so not entirely sure who all checked out, as also coming in for Brookline is number 1, Vilena Chernichev. Sent down the far side and out of bounds, Brookline takes it back. So Brookline now has its 2 leading scorers out on the pitch, those being Anna Leshley and Amra Ukamadu. The throw-in goes to Chernichev. Pass back, sorry, and deflected. Couple of deflections, and now being chased down by Wager. Wager battling along the far side. Ball lost out of bounds. Milton ball. Now this throw in deflected, and I think they lost it out of bounds. Now another throw in and kicked by Milton into space, but downed by Hope Leshley. Now a couple of deflections, still scrumming for it, and it looks like it's Hope Leshley who recovers it. Sends a leading pass over for Seifert. Seifert kicks it ahead, deflected, and then kicked ahead by Milton. Now taken by Sydney Fries. Fries sends it back. And now booted away by Anastopoulos. Deflects off of Ukamadu. Now the ball in open space, kicked away by Milton, goes back. Now a pass for Leshley. Now over to Fagnan. Fagnan still dribbling, working her way around the near side. Leading pass for Anna Leshley, but it looks like the back is going to get there first. Anna Leshley providing pressure, and that's going to be a goal kick. Brookline wanted a penalty call as the boxing out by the back was very physical and ended up shoving Anna Leshley to the ground. But no penalty call there, and this will just be a goal kick for the Wildcats. So the players that checked out were number 20, Liv Ernst, number 16, Kendall Fries, number 5, Ansley Washburn, and number 8, Sari Frankel. And that massive substitution for Brookline, as now they're scrumming for it. Oh, favorable deflection. Now swooping in, shot, score! Eleanor Bergstein from out of nowhere. her first goal of the season. At first, that ball deflected away from Amra Ukamadu, but then Bergstein decided to just come in like a bat out of heck and just send that one to the back of the net. Brookline 1, Milton 0. Now a bit of a scrum around midfield. Chernychev fighting for it and comes out with the ball. Passes away to Dadgar. Dadgar boots it upfield. Favorable deflection for Brookline. Bergstein chasing it down again, but she's cut off by the defender, and the ball is lost out of bounds. That'll be a goal kick for Milton. So a score gets on the board for the Warriors. And actually, no, this is a corner kick. I misread it. So this will be a corner kick for the Warriors. So I believe it is Fagnan lining up to launch this corner kick. Into the box it goes, off ahead, and out of bounds. Oh no, it's a corner. Or no, is it? No, it isn't. Bit of confusion there for a sec. And so now this will be a goal kick for Milton. Booted into the air, deflected down by Fagnan. Over to Anna Leshley. Her kick is deflected, heading down the near side and out of bounds. Brookline ball. Throw in. Chased down by Hope Leshley. Leshley controlling the ball, fighting her way against several defenders, and eventually loses it. Taking it back, but again, too many white shirts. But again, Leshley refuses to back down from a fight, and now a leading pass offsides. That jump move by the Milton backs has been life-draining against that Brookline offense, but now the Brookline offense can boast one score in this game. 1-0 is the mark on the scoreboard right here in the second half. As this ball booted away, it was Eleanor Bergstein who scored her first goal of the season to put the team up. As now a scrum for the ball leads to a clearing kick. And now Ukamadu off to the races, trying to come around. Ukamadu gets there first! Amra Ukamadu trying to keep control of the ball, but she can't, and that's going to be a goal kick. Ukamadu has been such a big part of the Brookline offense this season. 4 goals and 4 assists. She is second in both marks, but in terms of total points, she is way out in front. As this goal kick is downed by the Wildcats, deflected away by Leshley, but recovered by Milton. Now goes off ahead, heading towards the sideline, out of bounds, Brookline ball. This rain coming down in a torrential fashion here at Skyline Field in Brookline, Massachusetts, and the players play on. Hope Leshley with the ball for Brookline, dribbling towards the middle. Her kick skips along and finds Seifert, who now passes to Fagnan. Fagnan taps it ahead, and now a tap back, trying to lead Fagnan. Doesn't quite get there. Anna Leshley recovers it. And Leshley sends a pass. Ukamadu tries to swoop in, but it's deflected away. High in the air. Seifert gets ahead on it. Downed by Milton for a second. Now deflected away by Anna Leshley. Anna Leshley's got it. Tries a centering kick, kind of whiffs on it. And Milton trying to clear it. Leshley tries to fight for it. Kicked away. And now Milton working on a clear, but Fagnan coming in to try and cut it off. I can't quite see through the umbrellas. Now a centering kick. Deflection, and that ball is going to roll out of bounds. It's going to be a corner kick for Brookline. One to nil, the Brookline lead over Milton off the heads-up score by Eleanor Bergstein, and now they have another corner kick with a chance to make this a 2-score game. And they fight through. Centering kick is just launched way too high. And we got a time, no, we got a substitution. Substitutions coming in for Milton. Throw in here. Booted into the air by Bergstein, deflected by Ukamadu. Ukamadu trying to gain control of it. Centering kick is way too high. No one's going to take that one. That centering kick from Ukamadu to Anna Leshley has been almost a signature move for Brookline. It's resulted in, like, I think 2 of their last 3 goals this season. It got them their only goal in the 2-1 loss to Wellesley, and it got them their only goal in the 1-0 victory over Braintree. And this goal kick is booted into the air. Being scrummed for, and Seifert kicks it back to Fagnan. Fagnan sends it back to Wager. Wager now swings it over for Dadgar, but misses the mark, and that's out of bounds. Throw in now for the Wildcats, immediately kicked out of bounds by Dadgar, and that's going to remain Milton ball. Now the throw-in skips past a bunch of people, taken by Sydney Freeze, or no, by Wager, passed over to Freeze. Freeze's kick is deflected, but gets to Seifert. Pass to Fagnan. Fagnan fighting for the ball, and kicks it over to Anna Leshley. Anna Leshley dribbling, gets through a defender. Her kick deflected, but she fights to stay with it. Can't keep control of it, though, taken away by Milton. Leshley still battling for it, though. Now passed back, kicked into space, deflected by Fagnan, taken by Hope Leshley. Leshley fights around several defenders, sends a pass ahead, finds Ukamadu. Amra Ukamadu tries to wave through. Too many white shirts deflected away, but recovered by Bergstein. Bergstein passes ahead for Ukamadu. Ukamadu now racing along the far side, trying to gain the edge. Gains the edge. Ukamadu centering kick. Juicy deflection. Shot. Just missed wide. That was a big chance for Vilena Chernychev. Juicy kick there, just went off the side of her foot as the goalie couldn't quite collect the centering kick from Amra Ukamadu. Now it'll be a goal kick for Milton. Goal kick. Deflects, now taken by Bergstein, pass to Leshley. Hope Leshley dribbling through, still weaving her way through. Now a pass for Bergstein. Bergstein coming around the edge. Centering kick from Bergstein is deflected away immediately. Chased down by Bergstein. Dribbles. Attempted centering kick again is deflected, this time out of bounds. This will be a corner kick for Brookline. (1-0) the Brookline lead in the second half. And we got a corner kick coming for the Warriors into the air against the wind, and it's going to deflect all the way back to Fagnan. Fagnan now kicks it into the box, deflected, again deflected, and out of bounds. This will be a goal kick for Milton. This goal kick goes straight at Anna Leshley, goes off her head, deflects to Ukamadu. Ukamadu dribbling around, trying to weave, takes a shot, shave, juicy rebound, but picked up by the goalie. Ukamadu tried to launch one from the far end of the box, but nothing doing there. Now this one booted high over Leshley, being scrummed for, deflected away, lost out of bounds, and they're going to say Brookline ball. Throw in from Seifert, immediately deflected out of bounds, stays Brookline ball. Another throw in from Seifert goes back to Hope Leshley. Leshley passes over to Seifert. Seifert back to Leshley. Leshley takes it back, looking for some space, swings it all the way over to Dadgar, who misplays it and loses it out of bounds. Brookline trying to make something happen. They pop it into the air. It's tracked down by Ukamadu. Can she keep control of it? Ukamadu gets control of it. Dribbling, trying to gain the edge on a defender. Gains the edge. Centering kick. And it slowly bounces against the wind. Juicy chance, and whistle is blown. And I think they're calling a corner kick. So I guess that ball got deflected out of bounds. I was wondering if they were going to call a penalty, as there was a bit of a scrum around the net there between the keeper and Anna Leshley. Quickly tapped to Chernychev, now back to Fagnan. Fagnan turning around, running out of room, pass back to Chernychev. And I'm not sure. Penalty, offsides, something. But the ball goes to Milton. 1-0 remains the Brookline lead off the goal from Eleanor Bergstein. This kick skips along. And now a centering pass. They're trying to lead someone now, but nothing doing as Anastopoulos swoops in and boots it into the air. This one skips a little tough to handle. Deflected into open space. Still being scrummed for. Won by Hope Leshley. Leshley dribbling back. No room to go. She has to pass it back to Sydney Freeze. Freeze back to Anastopoulos. Anastopoulos kicks it ahead, deflected away and stolen by the Wildcats. Now this kick intercepted by Freeze. Freeze can't get through the first line, but she recovers and moves back. Now swung over to Dadgar, who pops it into the air. Now bouncing and tapped by Ukamadu and Chernychev. Now a foot race. Ukamadu with the speed. Can she keep control of it, though? Ukamadu chasing after it. Centering kick. Skips past her teammates. Juicy chance. But deflected away and out of bounds. This is going to be a goal kick now. You know, I talked about how turf doesn't absorb water as much as grass, but you know what does absorb water? My shoes. They are soaked. As this goal kick is just going to go out of bounds, and it's going to be Brookline ball. Throw in. Anna Leshley somehow keeps it in bounds, but sends it a little too far upfield, and this is going to set up a goal kick. No scoreboard clock, no way to tell how much time we got left here in this match. Right now, Brookline leading Milton 1-0. Here's the goal kick. Deflects off of Leshley's foot. Bounces all the way back to Dadgar, who launches this one high. Ukamadu trying to time it. Ukamadu has it deflected away by the keeper. Heads up play by the goalie. Now Milton working on the clear, working it along the far side, now dribbling towards the middle, but can't get through Hope Leshley. Still scrumming for it, and Leshley comes away with the ball. Passed over to Fagnan. Fagnan dribbling with it, passed over to Seifert. Seifert, pass ahead to Anna Leshley. Leshley now leading Seifert. Mila Seifert, pass ahead to Fagnan. Zoe Fagnan trying to fight off the defenders. A attempted pass for Anna Leshley, deflected, being chased after. Lost out of bounds. This will be a corner kick for Brookline. Looks like Fagnan will be lining up for the corner kick again with Chernychev alongside her as they send most players towards the box. Looks like they're sending Chernychev away. This is floated towards the box, off the head, in! A big score for Brookline makes it 2-0. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that one was scored by Anna Leshley. Might have to check with somebody about that. Was that Anna Leshley who scored? So that was Anna Leshley off the assist from Zoe Fagnan as a bunch of seniors check back into the game. Firm 2-0 lead for Brookline in the final minutes as they honor their seniors. And now we've got one on the stat sheet as senior co-captain Zoe Fagnan gets the assist on Anna Leshley's team-leading 6th goal of the season, as this ball almost lost due to the wind, but Anastopoulos picks it up, boots it high in the air, tapped down. Chernychev recovers it, passes it back. Now Hope Leshley dribbling with it. Leshley sends a leading pass that's going to be too far, and that's going to be out of bounds. A sub checking in for Milton. As you can see, Liv Ernst and Kendall Freeze back out there on the field, as well as Ansley Washburn, who I just mentioned. Now with a firm lead. They don't need their top scorers out there. They can go back to honoring their senior class of 2022. This one booted into the air off the head of Fagnan. Washburn swooping in, or no, Chernychev trying to take it, weaving her way through. Chernychev launches one, in! Welcome to the score sheet, Vilena Chernychev, her first goal of the year, and her first goal of her high school career. Beautiful floater into the box. And you can see how happy everyone is. Even if it is senior day, you can't help but be happy for a freshman who gets the first goal of her career. As Chernychev makes it a 3-0 lead, the highest scoring game for Brookline so far, as now the senior co-captain Juliana Anastopoulos checks out. Presumably for Talia Thompson, the backup keeper, though it might be their other backup, Phoebe Shea, excuse me. Don't have my roster in front of me because I have to keep my laptop covered from the rain. As this wind is really giving us a fight, and an offsides call, even with the weights, the legs of this tent are being pulled. So after the offsides call, Milton getting ready for a free kick. Now down 3-0. Off the head. Downed by Brookline. Kicked ahead. Out of bounds. And now out of bounds again. Looks like we got a couple subs coming in, I think. Throw in. They're still scrumming for it along the far side. And I think that's a penalty call. The weight's gone. So now some more subs checking in as we wait for this to get going. Off ahead. Now kicked away. Now this one is booted out. Now taken by number 21 and lost out of bounds. Number 21 is Phoebe Shea. One of the backup keepers is out on the pitch. So that ends the assumption of who's in the net, as it must be Talia Thompson at this point. We got another offsides call against Brookline. So Brookline now just having some fun here in this storm as they hold a commanding 3-0 lead here in the second half. This one chopped high in the air, being scrummed for, ultimately kicked away but intercepted by Leslie. Kicked away from her but back to Sydney Freeze. Now booted in the air, it's a foot race. Being scrummed for, won by Kendall Freeze. Freeze turns around, kicks a roller. That's going to go wide of the net and be scooped up by the keeper. This one booted, deflected down, taken by Fagnan. Zoe Fagnan, centering kick for Phoebe Shea, but deflected away from her. Still scrumming for it. Goes back to Hope Leslie. Leslie fires. Saved by the keeper. Booted in the air once again. Bouncing. Kicked ahead by Fagnan. Over to Shea. Shea, a nice touch pass for Kendall Freeze. Big chance for Kendall Freeze. Shot. The seniors on the board. Kendall Freeze started this season off with the game winner at Needham in the season opener for Brookline. And now she gets the last word in here on Senior Day. How fitting. Another sub checks in, and Brookline has a 4-0 lead, and I think we actually have a timeout call. Oh my goodness, I don't think I've ever seen this many timeouts in a game, and of all games, it has to be the one where we're playing in the most atrocious weather possible. But man, finally we have a goal from a senior. Kendall Freeze takes care of business with the 4th goal of the game. So far, goals have been scored by Eleanor Bergstein, by Anna Leslie, Vilena Chernychev, and Kendall Freeze. So a quick timeout after that 4th goal. Brookline a 4-0 lead now. Their highest scoring output coming into this game was 2 goals, which they had in a win over Walpole. And after that, it was always 1 or 0 goals in every game. This one, they have 4. What an electric outing for the Warriors here on Senior Day. Pass goes back. Now sent over to the far side by Milton. No scoreboard clock here, so I can't tell you how much time we've got left. Brookline on the attack once again. Pass skips ahead to Phoebe Shea. Is the keeper going to try for one here? Big swing, misses wide. My mistake. We got a mistake on the jersey numbers. That is actually Juliana Anastopoulos wearing number 21, while Phoebe Shea is in goal. So they're getting as many seniors involved on the pitch as possible. Anastopoulos, of course, playing most of this game in net. And they're now trying to give her a chance to score a goal in the middle of a monsoon, I guess. This one booted into the air. It's against the wind. Chased down by Fagnan. Zoe Fagnan fighting through.